Alright, hello YouTube. Today we got some more information about the weapons coming at the first half of patch 2.1. So we'll be overviewing these and we'll see how they fare, yeah? The first one, the 5-star weapon on the first banner. Engulfing Lightning Polearm. 55.1 energy recharge, 608 attack. Increase attack by 28% of any amount of energy recharge above the base 100. You gain a maximum bonus of 80% attack this way, and you also gain 30 energy after using elemental bursts. Who made this? I can see like 3 passive. Man, it's like, this is at R1, right? So at R5, this should be like double, right? So like 56, 160, 60, right? Gaining attack percentage when building ER. I mean, obviously this is a weapon designed solely for Bao, because as the official livestream stated, Bao gains elemental damage bonus if she builds energy recharge. So this weapon basically allows Bao to build energy recharge, get attack percentage, and get electro damage. Seems fair and balanced to me, you know? Seems fucking fair and balanced. Like, yeah, you know? Everyone is like, hey, Hu Tao and Zhongli scales with both health and attack. Well, this fucking character with this weapon now scales with ER, scales attack, and electro damage at the same time. So that is just fucking steroids. Okay, but here's the thing, right? If you have enough energy recharge, the 66% crit damage from Staff of Homa should be better. Right? If you already have like enough ER to always consistently get your elemental burst back, then Staff of Homa should still do more damage. The one thing that this weapon does really well though, it removes the need of a Bennett or an attack buffer, right? Attack percentage is the most accessible buff in Genshin Impact. Like literally almost every character can give it, right? Like with Noblesse, with Tenacity, you know, Bennett, and now even Sarah per se. Curling Tails of Dragon Slayer, the 3-star catalyst that gives you attack percentage as well, right? So this is the Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers. Also increase your attack, and then the entire weapon line of the Song's weapon line also all gives attack percentage if you have those, yeah? So attack percentage is the most accessible buff in Genshin. If I were to give a brief overview about this weapon versus Staff of Homa, then it would be this. Staff of Homa scales health, attack, and crit damage. Engulfing Lightning scales energy recharge and attack. On Bao, it will scale energy recharge, attack, and electro damage because of Bao's passive, converting a portion of her energy recharge above 100% into electro damage, right? This weapon will remove the need of using an attack buff on your character, which is a good thing. Of course, you would always want to use attack buff, right? But you only really have one supreme attack buffer right now, which is Bennett. And in Abyss, there's 2 teams. If one of your team can function without relying on Bennett, I think that's a win, you know? That will be a win, but still, yeah? It is a 5-star weapon. Pulling for 5-star weapon for marginal gains is never the financially stable option, so as good as a weapon that it is, I wouldn't say it's on the level of a extremely must pull unless you have a Bao. And even if you have Bao, later we will see that there's also a very good 4-star free option to go. But in Engulfing Lightning, the rating I would give this weapon would be 4 out of 5. Almost broken, you know? Almost extremely overpowered. I think they did well on the numbering, you know? 28 to 56%, it's fair, you know? They did well on the numbering, it's nice. Next, Luxurious Sea Lord. 55.1% attack, 454 base attack, very low base attack. As it being the free, one of the 2 free 4-star weapon this patch that you can unlock free refinement for. At refinement 5, this should be 24% elemental burst damage and 200% attack as AoE damage. So, my first impression of this weapon is Yola. So, every single weapon that has a proc in this game deals physical damage, right? For example, Snow Tomb does physical damage, Prototype does physical damage, even Skyward does physical damage, and I will show you it all, yeah? I will show you it all. Let us go for it real quick. So as you can see, all the weapon procs here will do physical damage. They will scale with your stats. So when I first look at this weapon, I'm like, okay, attack percentage, elemental burst damage, and then this passive. So this passive will do physical damage. Meaning, if you want to use the second part of the passive, I can only see like Yola being a one that can use it consistently, you know? Otherwise, you would just use this weapon for the 55% attack percentage and the 24 elemental burst damage at R5, which can be used on a lot more character and is a better option than, per se, Prototype. Because right now, Prototype Archaic, well, it's a standard Claymore, right? You can use it on like a physical damage build, you use it on an elemental damage build, but you were only using that because it had attack percentage on the substats, right? If you were building an elemental damage dealer, this passive had no effect on you, whereas for the Fish Claymore, even if you're building elemental damage, you do have at least the first line of damage that will benefit you, yeah? But what I want to mention, where this weapon is super good for Yola, is the comparison between Snow Tomb and to this weapon, right? All damage bonus percents are additive. I would give an example. If you were to build like Noblesse set plus physical damage set on Yola, that would be, let's see, 25 plus 20, right? So that would be 45% damage on your elemental burst. All damage bonus percent are additive. So this is essentially 24% physical damage for Yola, yeah? There's one thing I want to mention as well, which is kind of stupid, but I think people sometimes forget it. What's it called again? At 2 stacks of Grimheart with her E, her hold E is a small elemental burst. And I am like 99% sure this can proc the Fish Claymore. I am very sure this can proc the Fish Claymore because this damage does scale with Noblesse set. Like if you have 2 stacks of her E, you drop the giant blade down, right? You drop the small little blade down, right? So when I saw this weapon, I was like, this is made for Yola. It has, so the passive scales with physical damage, the elemental burst damage can be used on Yola's E as well, which is like fucking insane, right? So when I look at this weapon, I was like, wait, Yola definitely can proc this passive just with her E. Alright, I want to show her E. I want to show her E. So you have 2 stacks of your E, right? That blade right there, that when it drops down, that blade scales with Noblesse set, which means it is considered elemental burst damage, and the passive is when elemental burst hits an opponent. If the wording stays consistent and this works, Yola can proc the passive and benefit from elemental burst damage just by holding E, which is really, really good. I think this weapon is like literally designed to fit with Yola. For other characters, using this weapon, you'll mainly be benefiting from the attack percentage and the elemental burst damage alone. But as we said, right? Every weapon proc in the game, so whenever there's a line like this, you know, deal damage as an AoE or something, or deal damage with the weapon proc, those procs also scale with physical damage, right? Those procs deal physical damage and they scale with physical damage bonus, as we just saw. The biggest winner for this Claymore, I would truly believe, is Yola, because she can make the most use of every single line of passive that it has. But for other characters, you can always just simply use this weapon for the 55% attack and 24% elemental burst damage. And hey, that's a good question. But no, weapon passives do not work if you're not on the field. Unless on the weapon itself, it says that the passive can be proc when the character is not on the field, like so. Weapon passive will not proc, so you have to be on the field to proc the weapon passive, even very distant set. Even the Anemo set that you use on your Anemo character, you have to be on the field to proc it. You cannot proc it off field. So yes, that's the general rule of Genshin. Unless specified, all weapon passive and all passives do not work off field if it's a proc. And a proc just means like something that happens if you do an ability or a hit, yeah? Next, the catch Polearm. 45.9 energy recharge, 510 base attack, increase elemental burst damage by 16, crit rate by 6. We will be able to get this refinement 5 as well, which means there'll be 32% elemental burst damage and 12% crit rate. This is the spear version, the polearm version of, well, Festering Desire, so what else is there to say except... yeah. For this weapon, assuming you are using an attack percentage timepiece, an elemental damage goblet on emblem set, you would have 45.9 plus 20 plus the base 100 ER. 25% of that would be 41.4 elemental burst damage plus 32 from the passive at R5 and plus 46.6% from your goblet. With an attack timepiece alone, you already hit 120% elemental burst damage. Well, additive, right? So emblem plus the passive plus your goblet, right? Using an attack percentage timepiece. And this is without considering if you have any other substats in ER or any other stuff, right? And 12% crit rate. So I'd say it's a better power level than Festering Desire even. Because Festering Desire, elemental skill, there's fewer characters that make use of elemental skill, right? Most characters' main damaging ability are their bursts. So this is quite powerful. But what if you were to use a energy recharge timepiece instead of an attack one? If you were to use an energy recharge instead, that'll be 51.8 plus 45.9 plus 20 plus the base 100. And then 25% of that would be 54.4 plus 32 plus 46.6. And that would be 130 elemental damage bonus instead. So, as you can really see, it's very minimal bonus. Running attack percentage alone, running attack percentage timepiece alone, right? Already gives you 120%. Running an energy recharge timepiece gives you 133. It's a small increase, about 10% or so, right? If I were to use this weapon on emblem, I would just go for the cash weapon, attack timepiece, emblem set, and a couple of energy recharge subsets here and there, and that would be pretty much all I need. I do not think you actually need to stack ER set with ER timepiece with an ER weapon, because the diminishing return will kind of kick in. Well, I guess the terminology isn't really diminishing return, more opportunity cost, right? You could be getting stats elsewhere, but yeah. This weapon is really good, but I want people to take a step back and try to not fully stack energy recharge with this weapon on emblem. Attack percentage is fine. So for Bao, right, or for Zhongling, that's what I would do. I would run emblem set with attack timepiece with this weapon and with some substats, some ER substats, and that would be perfect already. Very, very good weapon. But try to not stack too much on energy recharge. And finally, the bow none of us will have. Do I even have PS players in my chat? Because this bow is only usable if you're playing on PlayStation Network. 41% attack, 510 base attack. Doing cryo damage increases your normal and charge attack damage. This effect has 2 stacks. And if Aloe is using this weapon, attacks increased by 66. If you're playing on PS, and you have this bow, and you have like a Ganyu, or like a an alloy, right? So for sure,
Okay.
broken. It has normal and charge attack bonus. It has attack percentage. That's it. But, well, sadly, you know, they had to be fucking ass about it and not give it to everyone. Where's... yeah, I'm not gonna complain about it. Hey, if you're playing alloy and you're trying to do physical, no, not physical. If you're trying to do normal attack build with alloy, Rust is still better because Rust is 80%. You really only use this bow if you want to do more charge attack damage. I know it says it increased normal and charge attack damage bonus, but there's a better source of normal attack damage bonus that you can get. So if you want to play Alloy and you feel like you're missing out on this weapon because you're not playing on the PlayStation Network, don't worry about it. Stringless or sacrificial for Alloy? If Alloy's burst, if I can consistently get Alloy's elemental burst back, I would just fucking use Stringless on her and play her on like a quick swap melt comp, because holy shit, that AoE is fucking massive. You can probably just hit everyone on the floor without needing crowd control. That AoE is so massive. I just need to consistently get her ult back, you know? Bennett Kazuha Alloy? True. True. And you use emblem set? Alloy? Okay, I'm really excited, but Alloy isn't coming out for PC in like 40 days, and I'm not gonna buy a PS5 for her, so her AoE is around Zhongli level, which is fucking massive. And she can melt with it because she's a cryo character, which is holy fucking. But yes, quite the good. Oh my god, AK-47. What the fuck? Ah. Oh my, that's quite. God damn, that's beautiful. KFC glider matching. Damn, I didn't know the freaking Poyo Lab forum was very memey. I should check it out more often. But hey, that'll be my not so quick impressions, thoughts about the 4 weapons coming this next patch real soon, yeah? Claymore and the cache, extremely strong, but don't stack too much ER on the cache. And Sea Lord will benefit the most for Yola, so we'll have to see. We will soon see Yola fish dancing in combat. Alright, thanks for staying by, and I'll see you next time.